was sitting down under a tree. He said, Lord God, I want you to help me with a big, big word a tourist tell me. The man says thinking other places unique, but it sound to me like he was talking Greek. So tell me, cut and a different scene. When the man say unique, what he mean? And here how I tell him, only in St. Christopher, in Tabernacle a bad man hold up the police station. Only in St. Christopher, the sergeant and all jump the window and run. Only in St. Christopher, the man out and bail, walking wrong with a gun. So a situation like this is unique. I wanna feel him. He say, Lord God, you should be a king. You teach monarch and started how to sing. You have such an excellent memory and a mind like a dictionary. Your little explanation is so clear. Once again, my brain is not in gear. So one more time, give me a beat. The proper meaning of the word unique. And here I tell him, only in St. Christopher. I just say how we disappointed with our age. Only in St. Christopher. Our next judge views a jury finding a killer guilty. The case or you could leave the country. You will never get the justice that you seek. So a legal system like this is unique. Mackie say, me boy, what you say is true. Every sensible man must agree with you. The word unique in every case means something you find only in this place. So tell me now and proceed with care. Come close to me and whisper in my ear. If think it is so unique for you, do we have a prime minister that is unique too? And here I tell him, only in St. Christopher, prime minister reaching late and he works with those who come early. Only in St. Christopher, he gets up on all Fool's Day and he suddenly fire my king. Got no explanation to give to nobody. But if he doing all this to prove that he is not weak, then a prime minister like ours is unique.
Get along, get along.
I want to feel you. You feel me? Politics, that plenty things around here would get fit. I say I think I am doing much more good to sell poor people reasonable food. But he come my miss up and we had a beer to celebrate Christmas and New Year. But he start up again about this word unique. So one more time I had to speak, and hear how I tell him. Only St. Christopher, quarter pound of onion campaigning day. Only St. Christopher, the other fella definitely tipsy. Only St. Christopher, Lindsay waiting for them anytime they're ready. And all the time this country sailing up the creek. That tourist fella was right. We unique. Bye-bye.
To the Lord, to the Lord.
Ay, ay, ay. Good.
Yes, sounds of the man Lord Cut, only in St. Christopher. In times like these, we are very unique. I'm DJ Mauricio, and I'm coming to you live and direct from my bunker here in the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts. Yes, DJ Mauricio is back on turf, right here at the Republic of St. Paul's, St. Kitts. And I'm coming to this evening, lovely Wednesday evening here, coming to you with the kind compliments of a good amount of folks that has choose to sponsor this podcast. And I will be updating you on that in the later segment of the program. But in the meantime and between time, if you're just scrolling through social media and you bump into us and you're trying to get an understanding of what this program is all about, let's drop a little ad here and let you know what this program is all about. So let's drop the DJ ad and we'll come back to you and drop right into the meat of things. Stand by.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Mauricio's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Mauricio. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Mauricio, every Wednesday evening, Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel, DJ Mauricio. Log on.
Yes, you heard it right. We are here every Wednesday evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. bringing you some good information. Let's take a quick visit across the waters there by my boy Carbo there in the fountain area in Nevis. Let's take a quick listen to Brother Carbo.
Cabo's, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treat. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabo's Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabo's Punji and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabo's and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabo's, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over, food all over. You got the food all over.
Yes, you heard it right. We have the food all over there in Fountain Nevis. Check out my boy Carbo. Carbo is available to do your cooking for special occasion. Give him a call, let him know DJ Mauritius sent you. Now let's take a quick listen to Sister Carmen of Carmen Caterers.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites on Sundays. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
That's for sure. Sister Carmen have some lovely dishes there. I had some lovely stew chicken earlier today with some baked macaroni, steamed vegetable and good stuff. Sister Carmen really doing a thing there. Enough respect to Sister Carmen. Don't forget, she's down there at Shirley Monday to Saturday from 12 noon till about 5 p.m. and over there in Boyd's Village, right opposite the Agara shop by the bus stop there from midday and a Sunday until around 5 p.m. So check out. Let's take a quick listen to my boy, brother Daniel there over on the Nevis.
Welcome to Strategies for Business Success, right here on 2020visionradio.com and on 102.1 FM with business development advocate Daniel Arthurton. Each week, Danny will build on a foundation to ensure your success in business. Being in business can be daunting, and Strategies for Business Success can help you avoid the pitfalls. Join Danny right here on 2020visionradio.com, on 102.1 FM, and on your other social media platforms every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. That's right, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. The time and place for your business dreams to come true.
You heard it right. Check out my brother there, the man Danny. Danny will give you some great advice. Now let's take a quick listen to what my boy, brother Malvern Herbert, over there in the St. Thomas Virgin Islands have to say about the DJ.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that?
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Right there. And as we get ready this evening, my good people, to give you some good vibes, good music, great conversation, my boy, the King Freddie, brother Elvis Williams, aka the King Freddie, sent me a track last night. And Freddie ain't easy, you know. Freddie sent me a track there, and that track Freddie sent me. Freddie said that you got to plant your seeds, you know. I got to see where this track is at, because Freddie said you got to plant your seeds. So I have to try to find this track where Freddie plant his seeds here, so that we could drop the big release, because this is one is for Sugar Mass this year. Freddie did not ease up from last year after they knock him about and chase him out of the island. Freddie decided he's not going to just walk away and turn his back. He's going to come back and do his stuff. But it seemed as though I did not upload Freddie's song this evening. I don't understand why. But it seemed as though I did not upload Freddie's song. So I guess I always work with Spirit. So I guess they want me to jam it in November, like we always release, and not in October. So it appears as though Freddie's song will not get dropped tonight. But I can say to you, good people, that we will drop Freddie's song for sure next week, because it's in the lineup. But for whatever reason, I'm not seeing it. Where could Freddie's song be hiding? Well, since we cannot find Freddie, the King Freddie, my brother there, Lord Kent, also drop I love the track. Oh, King Freddie is right here, man. King Freddie is right here. Let me drop my partner, King Freddie. It appears as though I put Freddie in the wrong lineup. So let me find Brother Freddie. This one is called Plant Your Seed. Speaking to the young people, the youths, about not killing out themselves, but plant some proper seeds, not in the rocks on the beach, but in the good way that it was brought up here. So take a quick listen to the King Freddie for Sugar Mass this year, 24-25. I just love this track.
Hey, it's planting time. Bo-do-bo-do. Tell you. Take a handful of dreams and bury them deep in this garden of life where memories sleep. With every step and breath, yes, we rally on. Sowing seeds in life from sun up to sundown. Some of us are not mindful of the seeds we sow, totally oblivious for what we put down. But if you sow a seed on stony ground, it will never grow up to be fruitful and strong.
So fruitful and strong. Plant some seed in your life
and watch them bloom. In this garden of life, there is always room.
Plant some seed in your life.
Like peace, love, and harmony. Always try to be an asset to humanity. Be careful what you're planting. Sow your seeds deep and remember
What you sow, you will reap.
Thank you,
don't
Service.
make sheep.
What you sow, you will reap.
Positive vibes. Tell you.
Positively. Positivity. My beloved St. Kitts Nevis. What a lovely federation.
Patience is the key. In this garden you tend. Some seeds may take time, but will blossom in the end. Full of ways of distraction, disbelief and fear. Sow seeds of joy and laughter, keep your vision clear. Sowing seeds of discord will bring fruit of social unrest, and will impede your progress right from the start. For guaranteed success, to avoid distress, let the Lord Almighty direct your path.
Direct your path. Plant some seed in your life.
And watch them bloom. Be a shining light and not a prophet of doom.
Plant some seed in your life.
That the world would see you're not a stumbling block, but an asset to humanity. Be careful what you're planting. Sow your seeds deep and remember,
What you sow, you will reap.
just remember.
What you sow, you will reap.
Positive vibes.
St. Kitts Nevis.
No
As I go.
and inspire the youth. Give them hope for a brighter tomorrow. Just don't sit back. Get up and contribute. Plant a positive seed in their life and help them to grow.
Help them to grow. Plant some seed in your life.
And watch them bloom. Be a guiding light. Play a positive tune.
Plant some seed in your life.
That the world would see. You're a positive role model for humanity. Be careful what you're planting. Sow your seeds deep and remember,
What you sow, you will reap.
just remember,
What you sow, you will reap.
positive vibes.
Thank you, Sylvester. Positivity every time. The man King Freddy.
One day you will stand in the field of gold. The seeds you have sown, the stories you told. A life well lived from sun up to sundown. The hope that you gave, the fruits you have abound. With a positive outlook, you have blazed the trail. Triumph in the face of adversity. Even when you stumble in the field, you still prevail. A shining example for the world to see.
For humanity. Plant some seed in your life.
That would inspire change. Help them to build a strong foundation, put them on a different way.
Plant some seed in your life.
Do it from the heart. Motivate someone, put them on the righteous path. Sow a seed, strengthen someone who is feeble and weak. And remember,
What you sow, you will reap.
please remember,
What you sow, you will reap.
positive vibes.
Positivity. Thank you, Sylvester. That's the man, brother Elvis Williams, aka the King Freddie. Freddie and I had a conversation last night. He said, DJ Marisha, last year them boys messed us up down there. We wasted a lot of money coming down to St. Kitts. Made it to the eliminations, made it to the semifinals, and everything went downhill from there. I will not be participating this year, but I'm going to make my contribution for the youths. That's what I love about people like Freddie. They are thinking about sharing. They're not thinking about themselves. They're making their contribution. And that is what we does. We that travel abroad, and you all things so nice over there. Whether comes sun, rain, sleet, whatever, snow, feet of snow. We out there in the diaspora. We got to go through it. Here in St. Kitts Nevis, a little shower rain fall and all you take off the day. We don't have that luxury out there. So I want to thank the man, brother King Freddie, for his contribution for Sugar Mass 24. Well, it's not just King Freddie that made his contribution so far, you know. And I'm playing these songs up front because when I get into my drive, my brother Benter should be joining me shortly. When I get into my drive, I don't want to skip a beat. I want to be bouncing. So I'm playing these songs up front so that we can be on the road to some serious conversation this evening. But Brother Kent, the man Lord Kent, also have a bomber there for this year. And Kent's message is to remember me. With everyone who have lost a loved one, he wants this song to help them to cope. As a matter of fact, Kent asked me to dedicate this song to the Edwards family, to the Cancer Edwards family, and let them know that Cancer is in his prayers. This one is called Remember Me, going out to the Edwards family from the man Lord Kent and Debbie.
Yeah, for those who need a shoulder to lean on. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. What goes around will come around. Sometimes we're here, sometimes we're there. But there's no need to live in fear. Remember, we are living in the circle of life. Nothing lasts forever. Heartaches and pain is a part of our strife. But memories we always share. Remember me, remember me. The way I will remember you. Remember me, remember me. And all the things we used to do. Remember the good times that we had. And we had some bad ones too. Remember we watch our children grow and share the good things that we know. Remember me, remember me. The way I will remember you. Remember me, remember me. And all the things we used to do. Hold on, be strong. Everything is gonna be alright. We've lost loved ones along the way, but there will be a brighter day. We must have faith to carry on, so their memories will live on. Young and old come together and support each other. So when we sing our redemption songs, our voices will be heard as one. Remember me, remember me. The way I will remember you. Remember me, remember me. And all the things we used to do. Remember the memories that we shared. Last for days, months and years. Even when we failed, we tried again, till we succeed and hold the strain. Remember me, remember me. The way I will remember you. Remember me, remember me. And all the things we used to do. Always be ready to uplift your fellow man. Sometimes we're feeling sad and blue, without a shoulder to lean on. But there's always someone out there to help you carry on. Believe in yourself, keep hope alive, because dreams do come true. Out of the dark, then come light, that will be shining for you too. Remember me, remember me. The way I will remember you. Remember me, remember me. And all the things we used to do. Remember the laughters that we share, communicating far and near. The family values we possess always help to pass the test. Remember me, remember me. The way I will remember you. Remember me, remember me. And all the things we used to do. Remember me. The way I will remember you.
Yes, and that one, as I said, went out to the Edwards family. They're coming from the man Lord Kent. Brother Ben, to tap your screen, open your mic. One day, every one of us will be just a memory, and memory is all that we have, you know. So, Brother Benta, before we get into any further conversation, the folks are online ready to rumble with us. So, can you please give a quick synopsis of who you are as we keep moving?
And again, good evening to you and your listening audience. As you know, Jeffrey, I wear many hats. Some can't get into the forum here tonight on. But I would say, though, for those that are listening, I'm an ex-chief of police in the U.S. Virgin Islands, an ex-senator, a ex-vice president of a telecommunication corporation where we own banks and television station, newspaper. I mean, it works in communication network throughout the entire world. And of course, I'm also an individual who is more of a consultant to many houses throughout the world where peace would reign or should reign. And thereby, I want to say thank you and your listening audience for even having me with you this evening. Thank you, Brother Marisha.
Yeah, well, Brother Benta, good evening, welcome. Tonight we're going to be dealing with some memories as the opener. I know some people would not want to hear me in this segment. Some would say, boy, Marisha, let it rest. Let the man rest in peace. But DJ Marisha has taken that vow not to let anything rest until I see some changes in our beloved federation. Today, the 30th of October, mark 91 days since my good partner, dear Cancer, wasn't missing. The Buffalo Soldier, Lord Black, 91 days. 82 days since he was found. 71 days since his funeral. The investigation still continues. The family is still waiting to hear from the police. No closure. The home where this young man was staying, or this elder was staying, is still operating like business as usual. Letters was written to the Ministry of Health, was delivered on the 13th. To date, no response from the Ministry of Health. No acknowledgement that they received at least 3 letters about situation with that home, including the death and missing of Mr. Edwards. And I'm supposed to sit back and I'm supposed to stay quiet while our healthcare system is going up in flames? Well, that is not what we campaigned for. When I campaigned for change, we say, let's get rid of all of them, you know. We say, get rid of all of them. The incumbent government that is there now, they say they got the answer. They got the tools. Either some 7, 8 pillars that they presented in their manifesto to do things right. Well, the Prime Minister is the Minister of Health. The Prime Minister is the Minister of National Security, which this particular situation falls under his watch. And if his functionaries are not capable of carrying out their investigation within a reasonable time and doing their work, then Mr. Prime Minister, you need to step in. I am calling on you, Mr. Prime Minister, to step in because we need some answers, you know. The family of Lord Black, Cancer Edwards, need some answers. The entire community of St. Kitts need some answers. It's not about politics. Someone made a comment last week saying I'm putting too much pressure on the government. It's not about pressure. I was told to hold the foot to the fire. I ain't lighting a fire yet. I ain't even grabbed the foot yet. I'm trying to reach. I didn't even get to the pants footers yet. I'm just trying to reach. But if any one of us who would be serious about things and be honest with ourselves, and we was in this position where our family member went missing, disappeared for 9 days, and the 9th day he was found dead, way up in the Saddlers Mountain. You would want answers. You would be demanding answers from the police. You'll be demanding some action taken against that facility. So until such time as I see some change and some actions and people who is responsible, take some accountability, acknowledge, and let's move on. Until such time, I'll be coming here weekly. Now, if the Edwards family have a problem with it and they say, DJ, back off, I have no choice. It's their family. He's just my friend. But until such time, I'll be coming here weekly giving you an update. There's a saying out there now, and I heard a police officer mention it today. Where there's no vision, people will perish. And that's a true saying. If we're going to continue to let politics guide us, the party you support guide us, when wrongs have been done and not calling them out, we got a serious problem in our beloved federation. A very serious, serious problems. Over the next couple of days, we got some serious things taking place in the North America area. And I know some of you here in our beloved federation, maybe regionally and internationally, have this thing like a joke. But I'm telling you all, this US election is no joke. The result of this US election is going to have some serious consequences on our little islands here within this region. So last weekend, I had the responsibility to go across to the New York area and support my baby girl and the passing of her grandmother, Sister Etlin. And it happened so that that's the day that the early voting started. So I was quite happy to go into that booth and be a part of the 16 whatever thousand million, whoever voted on that first day, and gave Sister Kamala Harris my vote. Dwyer did a very lovely commentary today, and I'm going to drop it in a bit, and I have to check him tomorrow and big him up on this commentary, because we in these islands need to wake up and understand, pay attention. Whenever America sneeze, those big countries sneeze, we in the region catch the cold. Take warning. We got to take warning. Somebody sing a song some year ago. Take warning, you better take warning. This is the time you have to take warning, my good people. Pay attention. Call up your family and friends and your people in the various states in the US of A and ask them to give Sister Kamala your vote. Because if, by chance, we get a different result, the DJ ain't losing a sleep over it, you know. But all of us will find out where water walk a pumpkin belly. Because the same stick that licked the wild goat gonna lick the tame. So I'm gonna drop this commentary here by G.A. Dwyer Astafan, and I'll bring in my boy, Brother Benta after, and we're gonna have a very interesting conversation this evening. Stand by.
Greetings. Federal elections will be held in America next Tuesday, November 5th. At stake will be all 435 seats in the House of Representatives, 33 seats in the 100-seat Senate, and of course the presidency. The pundits see this as too close to call. If the Republicans win, they will implement Project 2025, which is an initiative to promote conservative right-wing policies to reshape the federal government and consolidate more executive power in the president. Project 2025 would put the executive branch of government under the complete control of Donald Trump if he wins. It would reclassify tens of thousands of federal jobs, in the process firing civil servants en masse and replacing them with political appointees of the president. It would seek to infuse the government and the society as a whole with conservative Christian values. It would put political partisan control over the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Federal Communications Commission, the Department of Commerce, the Federal Trade Commission, and the Department of Homeland Security. So you're looking there at a type of one-party state, American style. It would abolish the Department of Education. It would make the National Institutes of Health less independent, stopping it from doing certain kinds of research, cutting Medicare and Medicaid. It would outlaw abortion, and it would criminally prosecute anybody who sends or receives contraceptives and abortion pills. It would criminalize pornography, remove legal protections against discrimination based on sexual orientation. It would have the Department of Justice prosecute anti-white racism. It would allow deployment of the military for domestic law enforcement and expand the implementation of capital punishment. It would reduce environmental and climate change regulations to increase fossil fuel production and use. And it would institute tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. Legal experts say that it would undermine the rule of law, the separation of powers, the separation of church and state, civil liberties, and democracy itself. Project 25 can be found in a 900-plus page document, which can be accessed online. It is a handbook for the creation of a white supremacist dictatorship. Don't take my word for it. Go and look it up. Read it or read some of it. The promoters of Project 2025, an ultra-conservative group called the Heritage Foundation, a number of whose movers and shakers are Trump associates and allies, see in Trump, with his popularity, the best choice to carry out the project. And he is, as he has described himself, the chosen one. Yes, the chosen one to implement Project 2025, although he publicly tries, but often fails to distance himself from Project 2025. It is so horrendous to the objective and fair-minded observer. Far worse to experience it. The strategy being used to win the elections and to implement Project 2025 is to promote fear, hatred, bigotry, and divisiveness under the banner of making America great again, MAGA. The Trump MAGA Project 2025 is perhaps the biggest and most egregious con job ever perpetrated against the people of America. And the tragic thing about it is that many Americans, despite the fact that Project 2025 would hurt them in every way, have nevertheless been bamboozled by the whole thing. We're not quite the biggest and most egregious, maybe the second biggest and most egregious con job, because I believe that there might be a mega con job going on behind the MAGA con job. And I will tell you about it. Call me a conspiracy theorist if you wish. And most intriguingly and dangerously, this dictatorship which the Heritage Foundation and Donald Trump want to establish in America, and the deception that they are perpetrating against the people of their country, is that the people, or most of the people, are not aware that they're being deceived. And secondly, the Heritage Foundation folks are not aware that Trump is deceiving them as well. For those of you who have studied history, you will note from the rhetoric, the attitude, the tactics and strategy of Trump and his minions in the MAGA movement that you are seeing a replay of fascism, like the fascism of Stalin, of Russia, of Mussolini, of Italy, of Hitler of Germany, even Putin of Russia today, and others, none of which has a happy ending for the mass of people. When Trump and billionaire friend of his, Elon Musk, have fun talking publicly about Musk firing 80% of his employees at Twitter and demonstrating their hostility towards workers and workers' unions, that speaks volumes. Yet workers flock to Trump and Musk like bees to honey, Musk being a South African rooted in apartheid. This is a case of poor, unsuspecting, and misguided sheep embracing wolves. When Trump boasts about grabbing women by the you-know-what, his people dismiss it as locker room talk. And when he speaks publicly about the size of a dead golfer's private parts, his Christian coalition apologists, who would never accept such language from Kamala Harris or Barack Obama, say you are making mountains out of molehills. They say, forget what he says. Let's look at his policies. What policies? Another case of duping and deception. Giving the rich more tax breaks, trying to end Obamacare, taking away women's reproductive rights, complaining that America imports too much from China and Mexico, when he and his companies are among the biggest importers from China and Mexico and make enormous profits in the process? Where do you think the Trump Bibles are made? China. Why has he constantly supported big businesses gouging consumers, then complain about inflation? What policies? And don't talk about foreign policy. He's like a fish out of water in that area, but he's not his own boss. And this is the MAGA deception that I will come to. Ask most of his former cabinet members. Ask the military leaders of the United States. Do you remember when he took Putin's position over that of his generals in a sensitive intelligence and security matter? Why do you think he did that? Do you remember when a couple of Russian officials had a quiet little whispering conversation with him in the Oval Office when he was president? Who you think holds the power between him and Putin? He keeps fooling people that he's strong and there were no wars begun under his leadership. But they call Jimmy Carter weak. Under whose leadership? There were no wars either. Trump encourages Netanyahu to be more aggressive and murderous towards the Palestinians and the Iranians. Yet Arab Americans in Michigan are standing behind him because they believe Kamala Harris, who is the only one calling for a two-state solution and an ending to the violence, is not sufficiently supportive of the Arab cause and justice in the Middle East. Somebody please explain that to me. Trump could get you to pay him tens of thousands of dollars to get a degree at his non-existent Trump University, a fraud set up from day one. If a man is a fraudster in private life, what do you think he will be in public life, particularly in a position of the President of the United States? Almost all-powerful, and given their way, he and the Heritage Foundation would put even more power in his hands. He knows how to fool people, you have to give him that. Poor people especially. He's a Pied Piper. He's the perfect choice for the Heritage Foundation to install their dictatorship of the rich, white privilege of America. His egregiousness came to a head and was crudely exposed last Sunday at a rally at Madison Square Garden in New York, when speaker after speaker uttered violent, vile, racist rhetoric. One of them, posing as a comedian, said that Puerto Rico was a pile of garbage. He poked abuse at black people, Latinos, everybody. Another described Kamala Harris, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name right, as a prostitute. Has anybody called Trump's wife a prostitute? Another said that the enemies within must be slaughtered. Those were his words. Tucker Carlson, who is an entertainer, posing as a journalist, described Kamala Harris as a person of low intelligence. Do you think that it is a coincidence that Trump and his sycophants love to abuse and demean women? You think it's a coincidence? Even women who are among his flock of sycophants are very willing and eager to abuse women, perhaps not realizing that they're demeaning themselves in the process. Especially black women. Hulk Hogan, the former wrestler, when he was on the podium, tore off his shirt as if he was on a wrestling show. Does all of that fit into the environment of a major political rally by a man running for president of the United States? How low can it go? It was abusing session. That's the term we use in St. Kitts and Nevis. Abusing session. Disgraceful. Now they say, forget Trump's character, but they attack everybody else's. Whether they're Republican or Democrat, once you cross him, you're in for it. Abusive. And even his own Republican colleagues, when he was running for president in 2016, because he had the goods on all of them. And he got the goods through his own machinations, but also he was supplied with intelligence and damning information by his boss, And now here is the part about the mega deception. As I said, he and the Heritage Foundation are deceiving the American public with their MAGA agenda. But he and the Russians are deceiving the Heritage Foundation with their mega deception. Trump is a tool of Putin. Putin helped him win in 2016. Putin has kept in touch with him and his people. Putin has continued to feed information into the Trump propaganda machine. Putin has his number. Trump is Putin's Man Friday. And all of that makes Trump a Manchurian candidate, running for president of the United States, but controlled by a foreign head of state, a foreign country. This is dangerous. And when the Heritage Foundation people find out about this mega deception, and worse yet, when the American people find out about the MAGA and the mega deceptions, it will be hell for the deceivers. I don't want to be around them when that happens. Now we are near. So for these and other reasons, if the American people elect Trump and his cast of characters in the Senate and the House of Representatives, then we're all in trouble. That said, it would be most fitting if he gets his wings clipped by a woman, more so by a black woman. But even with all of that, Miss Harris has 3 strikes against her. First, she's a woman. Second, she is black. And third, the racists remember Obama and they don't want black bodies sleeping in White House beds ever again. My heart and my reasoning tell me that while I expect no miracles from Harris, she is the better and safer choice for America and for the world. But my instincts tell me that the fate of the American empire is sealed with the stamp of white supremacist foolishness, embodied by the con-man-in-chief Donald Trump, who is the Man Friday of Vladimir Putin. I hope that I am wrong. Time will tell, and the results won't be finalized and formalized for days after the election. Watch and pray. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Brother Benta, any comment and Dwyer's commentary?
Good evening again to all. I would say, for those that are listening, I've been activated to bring some peace in places. And of course, I can't comment on the national election at this point because of my engagement at this point. But as an individual and listening to a lot of the concerns and being activated, as you know, on the campaign trail when you're doing that, and duty calls from the other perspective, I had to walk away from my campaign trail to take care of matters in other places. As it is right now, for those that are listening, I'm in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis at this time. During an active campaign for the election will be next week in the U.S. Virgin Islands for my campaign. And I'm not only away from a campaign because I wanted to, but duty calls. And as such, in being in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, to address some issues, I can only say that the wisdom of Ben become prevalent in our discussions going forward, as I have stepped away from a campaign trail to come to the nation of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I say that tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting in the hotel and realizing that so much is unknown, so much has not been explained, so much. And so much of those in some positions are not knowledgeable of what there is to come or to befold the nation. So much. So I say, and listen to Mr. Asafan, a lot of key things as far as what tomorrow will be, what will it bring, and who will be the individuals at the other end of the stick, receiving all the blows, as you would say in our language in the Caribbean. And for me, it's a hard thing to step back. And it was hard for me when I got that phone call to step away from what I know that I am in, but to move to another nation's rescue, if you will, if they would listen, because of what will befold some of our Caribbean brothers and sisters in this hemisphere. And I am not proud at this time. I feel a loom of doom, of despair, of those who are not aware, of our people who sits and pray that the best will be what we receive. But at the same time, for an individual who've been activated like myself, to leave one life for a moment, where the people in the US Virgin Islands are sitting waiting, while my campaign team are all over the place, to travel away from what I am doing because of phone calls that was made for someone else to intervene. I have two things to say. My move here now, and one that would be a semblance of memories for many tomorrow, that many of us would think that our own people within this hemisphere does not have the wherewithal to be able to be in certain circles to bring prudency and clarity in helping our own. You know, sometimes there are individuals of which by a name we begin to look at things, but while we're moving around in campaigns, you can get to anybody at any given time. But after members sits in offices, it's not easy. And I say that to say that in moving to correct some issues the best and the fastest and the swiftest that we can, it's been a monumental task in trying to get somewhere to get the message through. And being ripped away from my own campaign in the US Virgin Islands to come to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, it sends a message, it tells the toll, as urgency is definitely upon the bell when it tolls. And for whom does the bell toll? And who cares when it comes to the strong nations, how and what is applied? So there's going to be a significant movement here. I pray that those who are within the powers to be would utilize some prudency and accuracy, as this visit is not one that is to play with. And without going deep into stuff, ladies and gentlemen, I would say though, in my arrival today, I must say, as the team who are on island between Nevis and St. Kitts, we needed to get the semblance of the people of the island, the feeling, the understanding of the nation, or one of the nations that will be and going through some issues that will, if it doesn't get resolved. But what we gathered in the data being collected and the people itself, I felt so good based on the reception, without anyone knowing who they're speaking to. And what it does for me as I transmit my reports, it sends a message to say that the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, based on the commonality, the kinship and family, the love and compassion for each other, no matter what the fight is within the political arena, that they are one. And this is amazing. During the election, you know, the war is on. But after that is over, in speaking with people from the ferry to the different areas, as well as throughout the island, who, I mean, it wasn't one of those things where people were very partial in pushing anything away. And then it changed my whole attitude too. In coming here to sit and work on some things, how can I walk away from such a nature of love? I can't. So my efforts, whether they will be in vain within these couple of hours, or prudent minds will prevail to understanding, I would have done my part. And I would say to the members of my committee who are back in the Virgin Islands, I know that they're bleeding because I have a strong campaign team. And they're doing theirs. And now they realize, and did realize, that I also wear other hats. Other hats from a man within the Caribbean. But because maybe I'm a Caribbean man reaching out to some, they would say, this is just a Caribbean person, and he's not a 5-star general, and he's not the U.S. Attorney of the United States and he's not the director of the FBI, be careful with your thoughts of what my position really is. Because I am extending myself in other directions to come to be the cooler head and see how we prevail. This world that we live in and the region that we live in is a dangerous atmosphere. Those in Dominica and those in St. Lucia who can go to certain areas on the island in which to go through certain consulates to get permission to traverse in those areas where you have property. The question is for them to ask, how is it that I have to ask another nation outside of my federation permission to go to my property and be escorted there? I say that there's no blind eyes to what's going on. And at the end of the day, what we see and what we know, and to get reactivated to come back and come into a federation where, of course, I am not a resident in this territory. But after listening to so much, I had no other choice than to come to the rescue of my brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, just like I did before and during the Grenada invasion. And I say this tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because this is not going to be an easy walk. Starting next week, without getting into details, with so much that's afoot, if I know if I cross the street, but it's a dog that's there that bites, and still cross the street and get bitten, then I knew and I walk in the direction of being maimed or mangled. Let's not do that. So, Brother Marisha, I want to thank you. It's been one of those days where the team has been up and down the place, really. And pretty much as they come in with the reports and we go through them one by one, it's just hard, it's hard. And let's see, and I can't get deep, ladies and gentlemen, if people are wondering, well, okay, what's going on? The time will tell where those who will be the individuals to speak will speak. And at this time, I can only say but so much, but I would say that the basin of the Eastern Caribbean, within the diaspora of every nation on the CARICOM, and every semblance of tool that have been used in certain programs that we have, good programs, but how it's being utilized has created some issues on the national scale. We have chemists, scientists, we have all sort of individuals who are now within our hemisphere, and what they're building and what they've built, and what the intent of the machinery or the equipment or the devices they're building, and where and how and the time of where they will dispatch or launch these missiles or otherwise that they're building, in what direction, is a serious concern. And that concern must be confronted, not from a back door, but right at the front. And that is where, Brother Marisha, I can leave it there and then we dive into the other stuff. But I just need the people of St. Kitts to know, I really love the island, what we've seen, the development we've seen. And I pray and look, I'm looking at the ministries and so forth, and I'm saying, they probably mean well for what I'm seeing. But sometimes you're working with groups, but you don't know what the intents are. And espionage in the world is not a game. Everybody's trying to get to that top of the mountain. And there are individuals and nations that they will use as sacrifice. That's just a way of war games. Mine will survive, but yours become those that you push up front to receive all of the damages, not losing anything on your own ground. So as the individuals move through and begin to ask of me, how did it get to this level without anyone having an indicator that something was afoot? And of course, my explanation to the team is, you got to take it in stride. We're dealing with individuals who are loving and compassionate. In this region of the world, we don't know what the warfare is or what war really is. And this is one of those things where we don't need for it to get to that level. So I say to them, the people of the Caribbean and the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, I bid you a great good evening, really, but a very, very heavy heart also. And we'll see how the days ahead will flow. And if anyone would be thinking, if I'm on a campaign for political office in another place that's going to occur in a couple of days, and I walked away from that table on a journey in somebody else's business based on being activated in a phone call and realize I'm a Caribbean man from this diaspora, and I've been selected and chosen as that person to do so, I say, woe be unto man and take heed and warning. And as ladies and gentlemen, you realize the tone tonight is different. But it's something that needs to be explained. So I am waving the olive branch one time. It's not going to be a thing that I'm begging and pleading for something that's not my business. But I have a responsibility to a frontier, and having a responsibility to that frontier and being activated to address a nation under leadership. For some, they may have taken it as something as grace that it doesn't have to be. No, it doesn't have to be. I would have done my part as a Caribbean man, a Renaissance man. So, Brother Marisha, I'll turn it back over to you, and thank you for the moment.
Brother Benta, what I can say without much, I myself cannot say much, though I am well aware of how we get to this point. In due course, the general public will get the stories are the story. But I want to thank you and your team of individuals who accept the invitation to come into our beloved federation. And I would say an emergency matter and a very short notice. And sorry I couldn't meet with you today because, I have to be here to set up my life. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. But I just want to say to my people here in the Federation locally, regional and internationally, I have said it time and time again. I know you guys look at me as a little black boy from St. Paul's who just come on a Wednesday night and talk the things them. I am more than that. Mr. Bente is more than the gentleman you see on screen nightly. And in due course, you, the general public, will be informed of the kind of stones that we have overturned for this federation and have done for this federation with little and no, I would say, easy. It's not an easy access. We cannot really have that conversation without getting into details, and I cannot get into details tonight. And that, as Dr. Benta says, sometime next week or in the coming weeks, we will come back here and we'll be in a better position to break down what is taking place, what we are trying to do. What I can assure you is for the betterment for the people of St. Kitts Nevis, at home and abroad, within the region, within the CARICOM, and I'll leave it there for now. But Brother Benta, welcome to the Federation, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Now we're going to talk some local things, Brother Benta, this evening, because I've been getting some calls from all walks of various parts of our beloved communities. And there are some areas that I touched in the past where I got cursed out for it. For example, here in my district, there was a wall over there at the football playing field that was falling for several years. And when I came on this program and tried to highlight it and went on my Facebook page and tried to get something done and spoke to the representative and everything, I get some pushback. Some people say the wall was not important, while this wall could have fell on people, fell on a car, and even undermine the pavilion over there. Some people say it as not something that's important. Nevertheless, I am happy to say that the wall was repaired. It was removed, it was reconstructed, and the area now is safe. So I'm happy that the government is paying attention. But there are a lot of other areas that I have some serious issue with. Something as simple as a light bulb in front of my property here in St. Paul's. As simple as a light bulb. It's been over 2 months, maybe 3 months to change a light bulb. Well, you got people from Skelec up and down in vehicle, going to the beach with their family, doing all kind of manner of evil. But you're going to tell me they cannot find a simple light bulb. Today, I went back to Skelec to find out what the status of these bulbs. And it was not a guy there today, it was a young lady. And she couldn't give me any answer. She gave me a phone number to call. You're paying taxes. You know, people are put in places to do their work. Why people are not doing their work and expect to be paid? And this is the problem we have here in this Bill of Federation. The functionaries are not functioning. And they're making the ministers of government look bad. And there are some ministers that really are not functioning either, and they don't care. Today, for example, I went to visit my good partner up there at Elfrido's restaurant in Newtown, right there in the Newtown Bay Road, across from the gases. I was shown a drainage there that is blocked up. And I understand Public Works been working on this thing for more than a month. The seawater is right there in front of the restaurant. There's a drain by the corner by the restaurant, and there's a cover on the other side, a drain on the other side of the road. You're going to tell me it takes Public Works a month to unclog a drain? That's what they're trying to tell me in St. Kitts Nevis. That a street, I would give it 20 feet tops in width. It takes you more than a month to unclog a drain. Whenever the rain fall, the place there become a little river where the business cannot get support because the customers cannot go inside the business. I took some pictures, and I'm going to hold off on posting them on social media because I'm going to give the Minister of Public Works, and I'm going to give the representative of that area, Jeffrey Hanley, the Deputy Prime Minister, the opportunity to do the courteous thing to go and visit that restaurant and try and get the matter resolved. Because I could remember under the previous administration, the Team Unity administration, I could remember Jeffrey Hanley going around posting stuff on social media that Public Works is doing some sidewalks in your town and he having problem with getting the sidewalks done. And he asking for this and he asking for that. Well, the opposition, the Team Unity administration is not in power now. You are in power, Jeffrey. You are the Deputy Prime Minister. Take care of your people. You guys have to travel to get whatever done, I understand. But you all have to pay attention to the communities that you was elected to take care of. Simple light bulbs you cannot get. A simple drain you cannot clean. This is what we come to in St. Kitts Nevis under a supposedly A1 team. The Labour team supposed to be an A1 team. I said it to one of the ministers yesterday. This government has done so much in such short space of time. They should be getting a lot more credit than they're getting. But all they're taking is a beating. And why are they taking a beating? Because it's self-inflicted. The actions of the ministers, listening to the wrong people or maybe not listening at all, having the wrong people in the wrong places, having the wrong people in the wrong spaces. People who does not understand their job, they get appointed. For what? Because you support a party? We got to do better than this. You know, and as I said before, a lot of people are going to be upset with me because I cannot stifle my conscience and just sittings, hear the complaints, see them for myself and ignore them. This beloved country, St. Kitts Nevis, we got sensible people, educated people. I listened to the young one, the young one there across the waters, Brother Bento. I got a clip here I'm going to drop. Because for the life of me, I want to know the Premier of Nevis, he's the head of the island. He's the head of the local Nevis Island administration. And he's on social media ranting that civil servants up and down 24 hours using the government vehicle for their private use. But you're the prime minister, you're the premier. Nobody coming to report it to you. You're seeing these things for yourself. Put a stop to it. Stop the perpetrator. Call the police, whoever take away the keys. It's happening right here in St. Kitts. I see it happening as well. If I had a government vehicle to use, it'll be for government business. If I need to do something private, I use my private vehicle. Everybody doing as they please in this beloved federation, and we have a serious problem. So let's take a quick listen to this clip.
Let's feel good. I mean, sometimes it's
No, wrong one, but I'm coming back to you. That's not good. Let's go with this one.
In this forum, I've spoken about it in press conferences, I've spoken about it in meetings with our civil servants. Some people, it appears, are not prepared to put down the government vehicles. And so they have them as their private vehicle, driving 24/7, going to church, going to the supermarket, doing all that they need to do at taxpayers' expense, because we're the ones putting in the gas, we're the ones who pay for repairs and pay for tires and do all of that. And the irony is that the only individual in government, that is in the cabinet as a minister, who has available to him an official vehicle is me, as a premier. The deputy premier doesn't have one, he drives his own vehicle. None of the other members of cabinet have one, they drive their own vehicle. Not a single prominent secretary has a vehicle 24/7, they drive their own vehicle. And they collect a travel allowance, that is the offset. So yet you have now public servants up and down the line who have vehicles, government vehicles, treating them as if they were private vehicles, 24/7 on the road, all hours of day and night. And many of them are still collecting travel allowance on top of that. So these are things that we have to deal with, because these are some of the efforts and the areas, where there is a wastage of resources. I believe Nevis can balance its books. Nevis can, in fact, show surpluses. But in order for us to do that, we absolutely have to manage the accounts. We have to cut out the wastage, and we have to collect government's revenue. And I'll come back to that after this call. Good evening, your...
Brother Bento, if I had it my way, I would send home this premier. You hear the statement he just made there?
Yeah, I was listening very carefully.
This is on the social media page.
That doesn't sound well for a leader of a country. The box up with that person. Directive, memorandum from that office, or directive from that office, is to be adhered to. And those who are in violation, of course, steps are taken. But I don't know what his profession was prior to sitting in that office, but I pray that he does the right thing and just take the initiative and the steps, because, of course, if there's a shrinkage of the treasury based on expenditures and purchasing fuel as a result of unaccounted transporting of the utilization of the vehicles, then you got to see that the red of your book or the black of the book, which color it is that says up or down, and know where the shrinkage is and correct the shrinkage. And the shrinkage, ladies and gentlemen, is where you're losing money. I can't justify it.
The funny thing about it is, this is a gentleman that I cannot hate. I love the gentleman. I like his style. I just don't like how he's treating the people of Nevis and the economy and overall everything. He will be just better off. Just retire, enjoy your money. I don't think he could run out of money for the rest of his life. Come St. Kitts, let's hang out. Let's go over by the Green Valley pub and hang out with Big Lice. Give somebody the job who can do the job. Because if you are the Premier of Nevis and you witness all of these things, man, call up who you have in those positions and tell them, take care of this matter. There's another clip I have here, I'm not even going to waste time play it. Some time ago, he spoke about civil servants not doing any work, sitting in town at the bar drinking. Well, partner, you're the premier. If you are the premier, you see civil servants sitting in bar drinking when they should be working, what are you supposed to do? Then they should send you home since you can't send them home because the tail wagging the dog. And I see a lot of that happening here in St. Kitts Nevis. You got supervisors in various areas in the civil service giving directives to their subordinate. And basically they ignore them like they don't exist. And it's business as usual. And this nonsense needs to stop. This is where the wastage is. When you have a situation where 2 people can do a job, you got 10, 13 people there, and the job's still not getting done. Wastage, waste of money. You know, last week I had to respond to some social media posting that I saw there and coming from the ZIZ newscast from an actor we have there in the Department of Health, Ministry of Health, sorry. And I want to thank the people because I see a lot of folks cutting the clips and sending them around to each other, and even me getting clips of my own program. And I laugh because when I start getting clips of my own program, then things really going on. Something going on in our beloved federation. So I just laugh, you know. The situation is very gloom and doom. I came into St. Kitts last September, September actually 18, 2023, I started there at the JNF. And when I did the assessment there, that place was in a mess, Brother Benton. That place was in a mess from the previous administrations. And as administrations, go back from all the others before this one. What I saw there was some areas where water and the roof is running from hot water tanks, and that had to be running for years because the place is all massy. I got the videos to show them. Trees coming out of the drain pipes and the roofs 2 feet high. Those trees don't grow overnight. The place was in a mess. And social media, when the rain fall, you see them showing people with the mop buckets and the sandbags and the whatever in that place. Naturally, with our atmosphere here, the heat and the rain, the place is leaking. You got sheetrock on the inside. Once the water subside, you got your heat, the dry, you're gonna leave that mark on the interior. Look like mold. But the reality is it's really not mold, right? But people would call it mold because of the way it looks. And when people say, no, they're getting sick from mold and whatever, I ask them, have they ever do a mold test? No. Have you reported the situation? Yes, I reported it. Do you have a copy of the report? Or I did not write a report, I told my supervisor. And I am at a loss of how things are done in St. Kitts Nevis. But what is amazing to me is that within the past year, this year actually start, I would say from February to present, the roof of the pediatrics, maternity wards, the private ward, oncology, surgical ward, medical ward, and the psychiatric buildings. Those roofs were waterproof. Water not coming in those roofs anymore. As I've said previously, nothing is 100% because water only need a little peephole and it will find its way wherever. But for now, a great job was done by the people of ROC Taiwan through the assistance of Prime Minister Joe, the DHI, and the team at the JNF. The work was supervised by yours truly. The assessment was done by yours truly. The work was done. And to date, I hear a lot of people speaking about they're sick from mold. And my question is, if when the place was in a mess, you was not worried and you were not sick, now that the place is fixed and clean and painted out, is now you're getting sick because the place is prepared, it's clean? But I got a clip here. I'm going to play the clip because I take it as a big joke. There's a pastor we got here in St. Kitts called Pastor Connor. I love his humor. He got an idea where the mold might be coming from. So let's take a quick listen.
Let's feel good. I mean, sometimes this lot of shut up thing ain't good. You know, when you were growing up, they tell you, open the house, open the window, open the window, let air come in the place. You all like to be this shut up and then you all get sick and everything in your house full of mold and muck and dust and your pillow them dusty and some of you don't change your sheet for months, you just drop down on it black and all those kind of things and you know, you get yourself sick. You start to talk and you're hoarse and you go doctor, the doctor don't know what's wrong with you. You simply need to change the sheet on your bed. That's what you need to do. Amen. I am back. I am back. I am back. I can't help myself if I try. I can't help myself if I try. So I don't apologize. I just be me. I can't help myself if I try. All right, so to all those of you online, share the live. I'm back. Share the live.
Yeah, so share the live. So this pastor became a doctor of mold. So he's telling the people that if they change the sheet and the pillowcase, they would not be. Only in St. Christopher, Brother Benta. Only in St. Christopher.
Oh, this was a humor. Okay, thank you. I was wondering what was going on. Okay.
Well, for me, I take it as humor because the pastor is telling people that, in his view, that is what's happening. That if they change the pillow sheet, the pillowcase and the sheets, they will not have the problem. So, but apparently there's a lot going on in our beloved federation, a whole lot going on, and you know, I look at the carelessness of some of our people. Is that during the campaign of 2022 in particular, because that is where it was. 2022 is when I really kick into gear to ensure a change of government. First time I got so deep and involved in the politics. And I didn't leave no stones unturned because I wanted to save our beloved country from what we had in the past 7.5 years. We were successful in that regard. What is disappointing for me is to see the people that was cheering on, supporting the cause. Let's get rid of them. That was the mantra. Today, some similarities are taking place in some corners of this new administration. And you try to highlight certain things, not because you're cussing the government, as they would say, but you're trying to remind them and to ensure we're coming from down that road. Dive down there. Do not go back down there. And instead of our citizens just try to guide the ministers or the government on the right track, they're thinking about just themselves. What you are mechanized for? Leave me government alone. You're complaining too much. But the reality is that there are some similarities in certain areas. A lot of these functionaries are still there and they are not functioning. And if they are functioning, They are functioning for personal gain, not for the people. There are many things that took place during the campaign. We heard about the fake marriages. The Prime Minister confirmed it was more than 100 cases of fake marriages that they found. That fell flat on deaf ear. The missing money from Development Bank. We campaigned big on the electoral office. I have not heard much change there. Our people have to be more proactive and understand that what we are benefiting today, our freedom today, what we're enjoying today, somebody fight before, and gone. And we're just passing through. So we need to maintain what we met and build upon that for better St. Kitts Nevis. If you see your brother, your minister of government, your senator, your whoever doing things that are going to affect the country, going to affect the people, you got to tell them. As I say normally, I would prefer to tell them quietly in an office where we can reason a way out. But if we cannot speak softly, quietly in an office, then I'm going to bring it to you, Republican. And you all decide what you all want to do. Because right now, where we are, August 5th of 2024 has passed. So pretty soon, we're going to be heading into campaign season. And the noise I'm hearing on the street these days, I have heard those noises before. And election come and gone, and nothing changed. Because somebody might get a refrigerator, a stove, a microwave, a drink of rum, a bed, whatever. But that's just a few people get a few things. But what about the rest of the country? I do not know if you can speak on this, Brother Benter, but during COVID, back in 2020, 21, in the height of the COVID, I know that WHO and other organizations did a lot to help the third world country, as they call it, or the smaller islands here, because people wasn't working and the assistance came in. And I heard the then Prime Minister speaking about stimulus after stimulus that was approved to help the small man, to help the poor, to help the small business. But to every community I go to every restaurant I go to every individual I speak to who are not supposed to be the poor man in St. Kitts and Nevis, they tell me they don't get nothing. You all had a similar situation in the Virgin Islands. What's the status in that?
The subsidies from the federal government to the U.S. Virgin Islands came in, but as a government, what we did was we made sure that moratoriums were put in place. In other words, moratoriums are like if you owe a bank, with the government approaching the bank with correspondence, advising or requesting, because of business, to work with its residents because of the disaster. Whereby whether your rent or all of the other obligations that you have, your phone, utilities, and so forth to be paid, the moratoriums are placed on those things because everything came to a stop. And the government absorbed, based on its rainy day funds, its emergency funds, that these funds were readily available. And then, of course, through the international side of the world, of all the collaborations with certain places where funds are there, and a lot of funds are still there, that we and the Caribbean, your region can tap into. But the thing is, a lot of it was rendered to the islands. And I'm talking in excess of hundreds of millions of dollars. So if I'm hearing from you that issues came up, individuals did not get any assistance, First, if you have a business, you have employees. And the employees, of course, take some burdens off of the government if you're private. That the business that has the employees, based on what we call was protocols, wash your hands, can't open because 6 feet apart, or just shut down. Hotels shut down because nobody was flying. The taxi drivers, of course, we didn't have the passengers. The restaurants went through some hard times. And you go on to all of those commodities of services, which because of the protocols, they were closed. Then what happened, or what should have happened, was those businesses based on the employees that are home and can't come to work, that those employees, through assistance from the government, will continue to be paid even though they're not at work at that station, by taking care of the business to make sure that they get a check during the crisis. And that's what we did to make sure that all employees in the hotel system, the taxi industry, the restaurant industries, the hairdressers, the barber, everything that's not government, that were impacted, that they were able to have a life during the disaster, to take care of themselves, take care of their families, by receiving the dividends and payments as they normally would in the jobs where they were working. So under WHO, the World Health Organization, and then they have their affiliate out of Barbados, those areas, when they looked at things, numbers were derived and funds were transmitted to the different governments throughout the Caribbean. Just take care of your people and help in those manners. And not only that, but also even with the supermarkets, where things could have been done to offset the cost to you, your family, where you structured a way of deliverance to the household, or shopping by last name, A first, and then you work down the aisles so that they can come and pick up their stuff, maintain the protocol. These are things that were done in different places and should have been done, if they weren't done, to help your small nations, a Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, one way or the other. Life was supposed to be maintained, that people can still maintain their mental sanity, because of course, when you can't feed your family, you can't take care of your business, the bills are still coming in, you're going to revert to something else. And with that, it shows whether you really appreciate yourself. And one would say, if you look at your cemeteries, or you look in your schools and your hospitals, then you see how a nation really takes care of its people. When you see that they've just total disarray, it's providing with the cleanliness and the services to those who badly need the services as well. So that's what should have been and could have been done. I know that millions and hundreds of millions of dollars were awarded to the nations, through the WHO program, and then there were other programs as well that came in and subsidized to make sure they were balanced, even from the United States of America. So I start to hear what you're saying. It sounds like nothing was done, and that's not good. As a matter of fact, even to the businesses and all that they had to take care of, that the business owners as well, you try to encourage and maintain your open doors of your businesses, so that after the pandemic, when I say maintain, if you're taking care of those businesses, they're not shutting down. So after the pandemic is over, then you have a loss in revenues and kills your GDP, your gross domestic product. Because the business, the private sector, ladies and gentlemen, really is what pays all of the government employees. The government, no government makes money, right? It is the private sector that really contributes to the taxes and all of the other aspect of what they pay for the business license and so forth. That's where countries make money. And that's how governments are able to hire all of the other people in other areas, our hospitals, our teachers and so forth. Schools, teachers, where the funds come from to pay them, it's not from the government as far as the funds being derived, but from the private sector. And that's something we need to really put our minds and wrap around, to understand that business grows industry. And without being able to reach an economy, you can't grow it. But if you stifle what you have, then you destroy a revenue source that you were, in fact, able to say and predict. And you do what you call a budget estimate for the year, because you know how many businesses you have. And that's how you derive a budget. What your budget is going to be for this year, because you do the estimate based on the business licenses. And that's how it works.
As I listen to you, Brother Benja, I know of many people have lost their buses, their taxis, their homes, Many restaurants closed down. Many people lost their partner, whether wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, because of the struggle, the financial struggle. And to date, I've spoken to several business owners who are struggling still, who have not received that compensation. Like I said, many people within the villages who, when you ask them about stimulus, they want to know what you're talking about. Right? So we need to get into a more serious conversation about what really took place. I must say a more serious investigation about what transpired with that monies that came into this country during COVID, right? Because it was too much money. I can recall, I have a clip in my file here, where the former prime minister made a statement, I understand it was at a church, that he paid down over $800,000 and the vaccine as a deposit because he wanted, when the vaccine became available, St. Kitts front and center to get the vaccine. And I came after him through this podcast, and I tell him, stop misleading the people. St. Kitts Nevis is considered a third world country. And the World Health Organization and other non-profit organizations is taking care of getting the vaccines to the various countries without they have to pay for it. Up till today, they're still trying to figure out where that $800,000+ went. Who paid it to? We got some serious issues in our beloved Federation partner. And I had said to Prime Minister Jono when he got elected, I said to him, you need to do some serious investigations past. And when you find out the facts, give it to the country, give it to the Federation, give it to the people right away. Because once you stay in there 2 months upwards, all of these issues that you meet there become your problem. You know? And this is where we are right now. We still have not caught ourselves since 2020 in our beloved Federation. And there's a lot of semantics and whatever back and forth about whether we have money or we don't have money or not. This CBI situation, you know, I'm not going to touch it this evening for good reason. But a lot of the things I am hearing is very disheartening. And this country should not be in the position that it is. Some years ago, under the previous administration, not Team Unity, but the Labour administration, when they took over from the PAM administration, PAM was there for 15 years, the People's Action Movements, before Labour took over. And my good friend there, Mr. Emil Ferdinand, the Mighty Pat, who lives in St. Croix, he came into St. Kitts with his partner, Willa Pest, and he dropped a lovely song about how Labour fixing up the country. I don't think it's nothing different today to what happened back then. But our people have very short memory when they support a political party. And you might not be familiar with this song. So for the benefit of all, let's take a quick listen to it.
If the Prime Minister is doing a good job, show some respect. We must respect the Prime Minister. Dooba dooba doo bamba day die. Bamba doo bambe. One more time, sing the song. Bamba doo bambe. I think it's a shame how they trying to spoil the Prime Minister name. It's a vicious attack, prejudging the Labour Party like that. We all know of the lousy condition the former government leave our lovely island. That's why we went and voted for Labour, to put our country back in order. Not only from the criminals with the gun, nepotism and rampant corruption. For 15 years of garbage, I just can't see how Labour take just 2 years to clean the country. Come leave things bad, make us mad, and we'll angry when we look and see how they mash up our lovely country. Feel like we want to hit somebody for taking advantage of we. But if you want to take it out on somebody, take a bull, go bang the palm party. Those are the ones squander the money, divide more in the treasury. I think that they all should be put in jail, stamp up the hole and throw away the key. 15 years they had to run this country. They did a good job by running it in bankruptcy. So don't go blame the Labour Party for what Pam have done to this little country. A change is here, even the blind could see how Labour fixing up the country. To Pampa Daytime, to Bombay. One more time, sing this song. Bamba do Bombay. This is a question that I want to ask everyone. Listen carefully. I want an answer immediately. If somebody rent a house to you, tell me the first thing that you would do. Ain't go inside making sure it clean before moving your furniture in. Inquire in any way you could, making sure you live in a good neighborhood. Then how you could go and vex with Labour for cleaning house and putting it in order. Pam leave things bad, make us mad, and we'll angry when we look and see how they mash up our lovely country. Feel like we want to hit somebody for taking advantage of we. But if you want to take it out on somebody, take a bull, go bang the palm party. Those are the ones squander the money, divide more in the treasury. I think that they all should be put in jail, stamp up the hole, throw away the key. 15 years they had to run this country. They did a good job by running it in bankruptcy. So don't go blame the Labour Party for what Pam have done to this little country. A change is here, even the blind could see how Labour fixing up the country. A lie? Bamba do Bombay, Bamba did I. One more time, sing the song. Bamba do Bombay. They rip off the country, give land to their friends and family. Take the people money, start a fake construction company. Ministers renting vehicle to government, getting a monthly check and call it house rent. Thought this spokesman was joking for a while. Couldn't believe the disappearance of three hydrophile. They even write false insurance policy. Give Democrat money to cost the Labour Party. Man, I tell you, the way Pam used to behave had Papa Butcher turning in his grave. Pam leave things bad, make us mad, and we'll angry when we look and see how they mash up our lovely country. Feel like we want to hit somebody for taking advantage of we. But if you want to take it out on somebody, take a bull, go bang the Pam party. Those are the ones squander the money. They buy limo in the treasury. I think that they all should be put in jail. Stamp up the whole, throw away the key. 15 years they had to run this country. They did a good job by running it in bankruptcy. So don't go blame the Labour Party for what Pam have done to this little country. A change is here, even the blind could see how Labour fixing up the country. Tuba, 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 bate, die. One more time, yeah. The inquiry have exposed the works of the Pam party. If you think I lie, check out this verse here and you would see. Over $2 million received by Consi. Up to now can't be found in the treasury. Highly got writing checks like he going crazy. Up to this year, he writes some to TDC. Instead they repent and put their mind at ease. The party honor them as the biggest thieves. So if Labour can't pay double salary, who you go blame? Go blame the Pam party. Pam leave things bad, make us mad, and we'll angry when we look and see how they mash up our lovely country. Feel like we want to hit somebody for taking advantage of we. But if you want to take it out on somebody, take a bull, go bang the Pam party. Those are the ones squander the money. They buy limo in the treasury. I think that they all should be put in jail. Stop up the hole, throw away the key. 15 years they had to run this country. They did a good job by running it in bankruptcy. So don't go blame the Labour Party for what Pam have done to this little country. A change is here, if any blind could see how Labour fixing up the country. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Well,
yeah, Brother Benta, that is when the Calypsonians was serious about the community affairs, where they can put a message in a song. Lyrically, they put the information together and present it. We don't see that anymore. Today it's too milky and knocking, chanang, nothing makes no sense. Walk up on this, push back on that, jump up on that, nothing that makes sense. These are lyrics. I do not know if you're familiar with the Mighty Pat, but he's right there in your neck of the woods, there in St. Croix. Brother Samuel Ferdinand, aka the Mighty Pat.
I am. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's my good brethren there. So the situation, as I said, that I am very disappointed with is that these ministers of government, when they campaign for better, and they get in there and forget what they campaign for. Because our citizens can't catch a break during COVID. I understand the civil servants were getting a regular salary, the ministers of government were getting the regular salary. But the small businesses, the regular little mom and pop, the little boys and girls, nothing for them. But when you hear these announcements about stimulus after stimulus, it's still a reach to the people that it should have reached to. And I believe that this government, this coming Christmas, the people deserve some kind of reprieve. The small businesses need some assistance. Because when these businesses close, people get laid off, you know.
I'm trying to understand something about Marisha. You're saying that these businesses did not get any sort of reprieve during the COVID period?
Let me say if I stutter. That's what I'm saying.
And the record or the reporting back to the funding for the stimulus, for the incentives to take care of, where are those documents?
This is my question. I cannot get to speak to the right people in this new administration because they're focusing on certain areas which they need to. But I need to know, where are the documents for those stimuluses that was approved, where the money went, who get it? Because to everyone I speak to, business and individuals, they don't get nothing.
But
so
you
where
realize
all those million went?
But these are calculated based on your population and your business sector through your department that deals with business license and so forth. The taxes that you pay, it gives numbers of employees that each businesses employ, and through that you have a number. That's where you get the funding. You're not going to give you funding if you only have 4 people in an island. They only get it funded for those 4 people. So you go based on the population number. That's how you get your base. And with that, every single citizen of the territory accounted for by census, if that's what they do, then every single one of those persons are entitled to a stimulus. So I'm a little lost in the process of what transpired during that period.
Well, I am not lost, you know. I am not lost. It is clear to me that under the previous administration, a lot of dishonesty took place. A lot of misguided information took place. And I don't want to see that with this government. I want him to be open and honest with the citizens. Because I am saying to Prime Minister Joe and his team, this is budget season. A lot of people is on their face. When I say small businesses, I mean every one of them, whether it might be preschools, daycares, restaurant, little bar, whatever, the nail shop, the hair shop. People are really in dire need of some stimulus. Whether or not, however they're going to do it. You know what I said this morning on my way into town? And I said, you know, the police have to do their work. But again, they need to have a conscience. People are struggling to get back on their foot. And many people might not be in a position to pay their licensing on time for their vehicle, or they're struggling from getting the monies from that job to go and pay for certain things. They got to maintain the insurance. And the traffic back up from Ross University all the way back to Vultures. Not Vultures, sorry. Challengers. When I got up to Ross University, I realized what was going on. There's people getting tickets. They have to pay for something they don't even have the money for. You know, there's so much other things that the police could be doing than giving people a ticket at this time for registration. The police, from what I understand, they said they're short-handed. I am still waiting for some investigation to get done on my part, and I can't say what. There are other things that the police could be doing. Go hunt down the gunmen them. in this country, what I am seeing is that the citizens that doing the right thing get the squeeze. The bad man them get paid. The wicked people get paid. That's what happened under the previous administration. When I spoke to you about this peace program, you remember you told me you did not believe that was taking place. That is impossible. But you understand now it was taking place.
Yes, yes.
Bad man get paid. Bad-minded people get paid. While the innocent mom and pops have to struggle and can't get a break. You know, so that's what's going on in this bill of federation of ours. We're heading on the almost 7:45. I ain't going overtime with you tonight, you know. I'm not going overtime with you tonight, Mr. Benter. So I'm gonna drop
we
this.
We have a heavy day tomorrow, so
I'm gonna drop this track here by my boy Fonzie. I want the people of the federation to know they have a right.
Think it's so blessed land of beauty. Where is your destiny? For you're now the subject of much confusion, creating diversion from your peaceful destination. Day after day we have heard your cry. Citizens, you're the ones on whom I rely to restore my glorious pride and honor, and the atmosphere of peace once shared by your ancestors. Oh, but we have watched foreigners trying to deprive our right, using sons of our soil, our nations to exploit, while we foolishly look on, figuring that we are wrong if we raise our voice in opposition. No way! But we have the right to accept and the right to object anything for this nation. We have the right to inspect and the right to protect everything that God has laid in our hands. Oh yeah. But how can we truly say that we love this land if we stand and observe it heading for destruction? If the right is ours to be free, then tell me, then the right is ours to decide our destiny. If we have to stand up and fight, then let's unite, for we have the right. Oh yeah. Oh, no lie, die, die. No lie, no lie. Have the right to criticize things that are displeasing to our eyes, For when such things happen and we don't at all, how could we expect situations to become any better? Well, now, if our leaders are accused of corruption, bringing joys to the rich people of this land, while the poor continue to scrunt and suffer. Citizens, this means our silence must reign no longer. If we close our eyes and our ears and pretend to be mute, keep on living in fear of facing the truth, we should hang our heads in shame. For then you know we are to blame for sending our nation down the drain. Whoa! We have the right to accept and object anything pertaining to this nation. Tell me, we have the right to inspect and the right to protect everything that God has laid in our hands. Oh yes. For how can we truly say that we love this land if we stand and observe it heading for destruction? If the right is ours to be free, then tell me where the right is ours to decide our destiny. If it means that we have to fight, then let's unite and stand for our right. Oh, oh. Eli, oh, why should we as Calypsonians have to face victimization when we think of things happening in this island that affects the populace and our national progression? How when we sing to entertain, we are applauded and given good name, but as soon as we sing of this nation dissolution, it affects the populace and it causes much contention. If our nation's grievance we fail to publicize, putting our people on guard and opening their eyes, then we should abandon this stage. Our efforts is an outrage, contradicting our heritage. Oh yes, we have the right to sing out. Let our voices ring out to educate this nation. We have the right to be heard. Every verse, every word on a national radio station. Oh yes, not in condemnation, but issuing advice, hoping to bring this land back to paradise. Look, we have the right to be free. Oh yes, to work and secure our dignity. Citizens, if we have to fight, then let's unite and stand for our right. Whoa!
Yeah, Brother Benta, you're closing. Tap your screen, open your mic there as we get ready to get out of here.
Sure. I want to say to the people of your beloved Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, we will definitely be spending a little more time and listening to what will befall or may be a grace going forward. And I do look forward to meeting with some individuals and having that robust discussion. More on the direct side from one side of one nation to the other. I've been the person who's been assigned to be the mediator in a sense, and hopefully all goes well. We would have done our part. What will be, but I do, like I said earlier, believe that prudency will prevail. I wish the nation of St. Kitts and Nevis great abundance of wisdom. I must say that because there's words on outside that many are not involved in conversations to know what's what. And I'm bringing that lineage of that olive branch, in a sense, to bring some peace, some tranquility for all that has been done, for the walks that you've had to get where you're at. I think this is an opportune time and destiny. It's so sad though, but I'm here. Like I said to the people who was listening, I left. I walked away from an active campaign with election on Tuesday next week. And I'm running for an office in the U.S. Virgin Islands. But being activated is part of those things that comes into play because of many things that I'm into. So I've been activated. I walked away from my campaign, where my campaign team and out there doing this stuff, shy of a few days from an election to come to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. That says a lot. And let's see what happens. I would have done my part. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you Godspeed. My heart, my love, my true and genuine appreciation of all of you. I hope that we can continue the same semblance henceforth. I wish you Godspeed. Good evening.
Thank you, sir. And right about now, we're going to come in with our unofficial anthem of our beloved Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. This one is called Arise by the late, great the King Arrow. I know people like Hazel and Brother Benta, they love to shake to the music, but please take a listen to the lyrics. Lyrically great. I also want to take this time out to thank the good folks there down at the Island Purified Water, Main Street, Newton Ground, St. Kitts, Brother Powell and team. Thanks for keeping the DJ hydrated when I'm in your neighborhood. I want to say good night to my baby girl one more time, Sister Beverly Marisha, Gwyneth Marisha, Rochelle Marisha, my daughter, my son, Jeffroy Jr., Sister Janet, how you doing? Esther, Mokish and kids, the man Shorty there, the man called Maris, Val Maris, Valicia Maris, the man Avon Brown, Patsy Brown, Mary Ralph and Co, my uncle there, Eustace in St. Croix, my cousin, Brother Kent there in St. Thomas, Sister Pam, Sister Anelta Robinson, good evening, how are you doing? Hope all is well. I also want to big up one of my main sponsors there, Sister Cora Bennett. Sister Hazel Claxton, good evening. How are you doing? The man Thaddeus Deposo. How about the man Eustace Hendrickson? Also want to touch Sister Dietra Farrell. How are you doing? Sister Lynn, good evening. Hope all is well with you. Sandra Griffith. Dwight Richards, Brother Sebastian Williams, Loretta Wharton, the man Elvis Williams, Ermin Queeley, Cecil Watson, good evening. Darky Bryan, Pat Brooks, Sister Beverly Marisha, still online, huh? Brother Daniel Atherton, good evening. How are you doing? Brother Desmond Claxton, aka the King Chubby, Angela Dorr, Hugh Coleman. We have Brother Benta in the house, Fanny Herbert, Verlene Alley, welcome to the ride. Eustace Adams, Randa Brown, Mona Davis, was nice meeting you in person there on Sunday. Welcome to the Federation. Hope all is going well with you and your end, Sister Anna Morton. Now is Heather, welcome. Sylvia Ward, Hilla Brown, Cecile Brown, how are you doing, Pastor Brown? Hope all is well. Roland Archibald, Olivia David, Madeline Sargent, welcome to the ride. Brother Eustace Hendrickson, Jack Reed, Olivia David, Amarella Finch, welcome to the ride. Annette Mary Nisbet, now it's Duggins, Margaret Skeet, Mark Doe, Caraman Brown, welcome to the ride. Centric Daniel, Carlton Williams, Ruthlin Hill, welcome to the ride. Barbara Edwards, welcome to the ride. How about the man there, the man Cabo, how are you doing? Brother Patrice Nisbet, Sophia Warner, Ruthlin Hill, Casilda Francis, Anthony Libert, welcome to the ride. Smalta Jeffords, welcome to the ride. Joanne Kathleen Carey, Sarah Camille, Brother Deacon Harold Jeffords, how are you doing, my brother? Welcome to the ride. Steve Mills, Carol Libert, Casilda Francis, Shirley Kings, Knighton, Justin Stacy Batch, how are you doing? Sister Tuet, Shirley Knight, Sister Celine Tobias, how are you doing? Good seeing you. Sandra Merritt, Everson Powell, how are you doing, my brother? Douglas Shaw, welcome to the ride. Thanks for your contribution. Mel Francis, Sister Cora Bennett, David Willis, Willie Jones, sorry. Hope all is well. Gilly Brown, Gina Tyson, Noah Jane, Deborah Jeffords, Kevin Richardson. Well, folks, I can't call all these names this evening. You all know how that go. Sister Dorothy Allen, welcome to the ride. How my mascot doing? Sister Lynn Leaf, what do you? Brother Rambo Williams, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride. Miller Farms, Earl Paris, without Virgin. Sister Naomi Ward, how are you doing? Vicky Hazel, Nigel McMahon, Margaret Taylor, Frankie Lawrence, Hyson Gums, Sylvian Gordon, Joseph Brooks, welcome to the ride. Leonard Fox, Endurance Edwards, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride, sis. Gemini Nisbet, Kittishan King, how are you doing? Welcome to the ride. Too much names to call. Brother Julian Pemberton, how are you doing? How is the man there, Luther Kelly? Tell him don't forget my honorarium. Dwayne Jones, Sandra Lightbud, Brother George Nisbet, somewhere around the world. The man DJ Rabuka, how are you doing, my brother? Hope all is well. I for W.A. Henry, how are you doing, my brother? James Body, welcome to the ride. Valentine Buchanan, Evan Jeffords, Aston Connor, welcome to the ride. Well, my good people, by way of updates, I just want to remind you guys that my initiatives for the Lord Black, the man concert, was contributing to a salary for a worker there at the daycare is going well. So far, I have covered 8 weeks' salary. Still trying to make it to the end of the year. The funds are low, so I appreciate your contribution in keeping it flowing. I want to thank people like Brother Jeff Fritz and Sons Enterprises, their supermarket in Molyneux. Fritz Bakery there in the Borea area for their continued support over the last couple of weeks. Thanks for your contribution. I also want to thank the man, Brother Eustace Warner. Warner's One Stop there in the Boardwalk area. Brother Douglas Shaw, thanks for your contribution. Romello Jeffers, the man Richard Romeo Paris, sorry, Paris Pharmacy. Sister Gloria Hutchinson, thanks for your contribution. Sister Blanchett, thanks for your contribution. Sister Liber, thanks for your contribution. Sister Pearl, Hazel Claxton, Sister Annette Morton, I want to thank you guys for your contribution. My good people, I love to see when we can do good for our people. There's a few other people that have contributed who really would not want to make their contribution public, and I respect that. But I will continue to do what I am doing and do my best for the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. In the meantime and between time, I want to drop this one from my dancing commissioner, the man, Brother Austin Williams. Laura Williams, how you doing? Hope all is well. This one is called Arise, My People. This is my closing song. Let's arise for the good of our people.
unification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Would you assist building a wall so massive or a bridge? Don't care how small, as one tends to divide our people, the other unite us all. Unambitious men just cannot be a part of this community. Displaying selfishness, a total lack of interest. No, I said no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct all mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in this harmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother cannot love each other. No, I say no, not at all. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct all mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We'll move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, this country is yours, all yours. Final program for October 2024. As we look forward to November next week, our first program will be kicking off next Wednesday. Don't forget, on the 8th of November, we'll be celebrating our 4th anniversary of this podcast. So look forward to you folks doing the nice thing and make some kind of a contribution so that I can keep up the payment of this worker. Also want to say thanks to my engineer there, the man, brother Ike, for keeping me alive for these past 4 years. Thank you, my brother. Thanks to my nephew there, the man Glenville Lawrence, for keeping the clips coming, cutting and keeping them on the road. So, folks, every good thing must come to an end. So, until such time as we meet again next Wednesday, I'm DJ Mauricio saying to you, good night.